8% voting has been reported in the third phase of the Bihar elections till 10:30 a.m. 8% is what we are picking up right now. So since morning, it has been till 10:30 a.m. about 8% of the voters, those who have exercised their franchise. Let me go across to my colleague Anand Patel, who is joining us from Purnia with more details on this. Anand, as Professor Shastri was earlier saying, he will be very interested to see whether the voting percentage goes up, because that will be a very clear indication that there is anti-incumbency vote which is coming out in large numbers. What do you make of this 8% so far? In the first two phases, it hasn't been as much as people would have expected.
Well, yes, Ankit, that is one of the reasons, because most of the migrant workers who had come to Bihar, they have all gone back. Most of them have gone back. So that voter is missing in this poll. But you can see, Ankit, here at this booth, I am here in Katihar. There is, substantial amount of voters presence here, and long queues are at some of the booths. But yes, as you pointed out rightly, that the voting percentage has not been as high as we would have thought. Because of COVID, a lot of people are at home, but that is not happening. And also, this will have, an impact on the outcome of the polls, because as Professor Shastri was saying that, large number of anti-incumbency vote will be visible in this phase particularly. But nevertheless, if you're talking about the issues here, the campaigning has been on the development and job poll plank. But you look at the Simanchal area, which is a backward area, a border area, Kosi districts, 4 districts of Kosi, which have been year after year troubled with floods. Mithilanchal, which is again a backward area, a lot of sugar mills there, but they've closed down, nothing much done over the last 30 years or so. So as far as development is concerned, not much has moved in Bihar, and that is what is the grudge of the people, and that is why you see a lot of anger on the ground, especially among the youth. But again, there have been attempts in this phase particularly. If you see, compare it with the last phase, Mahagathbandhan or the Grand Alliance had swept this poll. 58 out of 74 seats the JDU, RJD Congress Alliance had won. So this time around, it's a big challenge for RJD, which won 31 seats last time, to retain and build over its last time's gain. So that will be a tough challenge for it. All depends whether the youth comes out in large numbers to vote for a change.
Anand, stay on with me. Manisha Priyam, for a state as politically astute as Bihar is, why is it that we have not seen a very high voting percentage? I mean, traditionally also, psephologists will tell you that a high voting percentage usually is against the incumbent. Should the NDA take heart in the in the numbers of the voting percentage of the first two phases, and what can we expect in the third phase, where it is being expected that voting percentage should be at least around 60%?
I wouldn't comment much on the percentages of voting right now, because there has been a different experience across places. I'll concentrate on the Simanchal region that you're focused on right now. And let me tell you that my doctoral work at the LSE was based, at least one part of it was largely based on the Purnia district. And you will find here backwardness and poverty of the kind that you only hear about in sub-Saharan Africa. The poorest of the world live here. The joblessness is endemic. The crisis is too much. The retrenched labor from the erstwhile jute mills of Calcutta. So when Calcutta was a thriving industrial sector, these people would find employment there, the retrenchment from there, and then finally not having any local base to be able to find work. And on top of that, absolutely the rage of the river Kosi, not even, the violence of the river Kosi year after year defines this area. Even this time around, as we go into the elections, there are swarms of people that are living simply outside, not even in flood protection shelters. So I have not seen a scenario like this, where people go to floods every year and lose anything that they have gathered. So we are talking of the world's poorest here, absolutely no economic opportunities. The only opportunity they have is to find work as labor of various kinds, whether in and largely unskilled labor. So we will see, therefore, that even with the modest outcomes that this phase may have, this phase will actually tell the world that the poorest of the world are making their fate and fortune through the exercise of the ballot. And this phase, we should not even look at turnouts. We should look at the mandate. We should look at the popular enthusiasm, because people are voting under extreme hardships of nature and extreme hardships of economy, and that's what we need to watch out for.
That was something very important that Manisha Priyam was telling us. In fact, when I was in Bihar, we did a story of a village which every year is flooded by the Kosi River, the river of sorrow in this area. And the people, every year they build a house, it is broken during the floods, they try and salvage whatever bricks they can so that they can rebuild the house whenever the flood water recedes. That's the kind of hardships that people endure in this area. Javed, for Nitish Kumar, who possibly is fighting one of his toughest electoral battle, many would say his weakest election so far, a weakened Nitish Kumar so far, him making the announcement that it is going to be his last election, is that emotional appeal, would that be enough to in fact tide over the anti-incumbency that he is facing?
Look, if the aim was just to help him, politically redeem himself, I don't think that's going to happen, because 11th hour announcements seldom have that kind of effect, and especially at a time when your credibility levels, when your political fortunes are at the lowest. If he was neck and neck, perhaps making such an announcement may have. But at the 11th hour making this announcement, I don't think this is going to make a substantial difference. Mr. Nitish Kumar prides himself into doing, taking the path less traveled. So perhaps he feels that, and he has an image of himself. He's a legend in his own mind. He believes that what he does, decisions that he makes, make or mar the lives or political fortunes of others. That may have been true some time ago. It is less true as of now. And so therefore, Mr. Nitish Kumar's announcement is unlikely to have an effect either which way on the outcome of this election.
All right. It will be interesting to see what happens to the political future of the current Chief Minister of Bihar, three-time consecutive terms as the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, fighting one of his toughest electoral battles. Thank you so much, Javed Ansari, Manisha Priyam and Anand Patel for joining us on this broadcast.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.